Welcome back to We Connect. We're right here at the Amethyst Cafe, and we're having this really interesting discussion with Sandhosh Kumar. Sandhosh, we were talking about the cause that you have actually climbed Everest with this idea in your mind. Do you think that things like this actually create the awareness that you're expecting it to?
Certainly, I mean, if the fact that we are talking about it right now would spark an interest in somebody who didn't know much about it. And also, I've started a campaign called millionpledges.com, which has a little information about what the problem is and a few pledge statements that people can take against prevention of child sexual abuse. So one just needs to go to the website, take a pledge, and I'm hoping to get at least 1 million pledges by this November. And through that, maybe if all these million people could take about just 5 minutes thinking about it, and that itself is something, an achievement.
Does it, on the other hand, actually translate into an increased sponsorship? Because I can see that being a mountaineer costs a lot of money. So do you actually expect that to happen as well?
In terms of sponsorship, it's always been hard, especially, again, if a cause is not very popular. The practical situation is that if a cause is popular, it actually helps with sponsorship. If it is not, it may not be that much. But I wanted to take the cause mainly just so that I can do something about it. So in terms of sponsorship, it is mainly related to Everest anyway.
Right. Do you actually go out and talk about it, or is this something that you're going to be doing from now on? Because the fact that, you know, obviously you will have very, very interesting tales to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every day I can sit here and talk to somebody who's been to the top of Mount Everest. I mean, that's an amazing thing. So is this going to be something that you're going to actually go forward on?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, this is something that I just didn't pick up before Everest. I mean, again, this campaign is something that's going to last for a while. And I do need to especially use my Everest experiences to link that and see if I can talk about child sexual abuse. And maybe if I could go to some schools, talk about Everest and talk about the cause at the same time, it'll be great.
Well, I hope there might be people who are actually watching us today and would ask you to come in, because I think you have a lot to give, especially being as young as you are. When you climbed that first mountain in Indonesia, how old were you?
That was in 2006, so about 3-4 years ago, 24.
So from 24 to 27, you've actually climbed 6 of the world's very, very tall peaks and got to Everest as well. You must be an excellent, excellent, excellent mountaineer. How did you get trained? I mean, who helps you to go through the whole process, especially initially?
It's amazing. Once you have an interest and a passion, you just find every little time you get and every amount of money you get that to put in the effort into that. So all the time, every holiday I got, I would save up and I would go and climb a mountain and trek and exercise. And Singapore fortunately has a good exercising culture, so that helped me train. And apart from that, it's just meeting people who have climbed better peaks than you, climbing with them, that gets you going.
Do you find that you actually learn from, senior mountaineers and people who've been doing?
Oh, certainly. I mean, mountaineering is about experience. So if you climb with someone who's better than you certainly learn from them.
Until now, which has been the most difficult mountain for you?
I would always say that the mountain I came back from last is always the most difficult mountain. And
is it?
It's amazing. You climb the highest peak, you climb the most difficult ones, and you still don't find that easy mountain that exists.
There is no easy mountain? There is no easy mountain, really?
There is no easy climb.
Tell me about your parents. Do they have heart attacks when you're going off on these expeditions, I'd imagine?
Not so much, in the sense they're getting used to it, and they certainly have been very, very supportive in terms of Mount Everest. I mean, initially they were a bit hesitant, but they knew that I took my precautions. They knew that I'm going with a good team. And after that, they've been extremely supportive, especially dad and mom with the sponsorship, with the support that I needed. It's been great.
Right. Would you say that for a mountaineer, your team and the people who you choose to climb with are the most crucial? Would you say that that's the primary focus that a mountaineer should have?
Indeed. That is the most important thing. I mean, the decisions that you need to make as a group, because you need the team support in case something happens. And you need the team support in making decisions as to when and how you are to climb. So it is a crucial factor, especially when you're going to spend 60 days with someone. I mean, there have been times where people haven't gotten along with the team and they've lost the motivation and they have to go back.
Team leader. Is the team leader actually the leader of the team? I mean, does that team leader take a decision and everybody go with it? Is that how it works, or is there a sort of democracy that exists in the team?
Yeah, there is a sort of democracy, but we have a team leader to make that decision, the final decision anyway. I mean, if you look at the team, we have 60-year-olds in the team, we have 27-year-olds in the team. So it's very hard, and the team leader was only about 33 years old. So it's going to be very hard for a 33-year-old to go and tell a 60-year-old what to do. Yeah. But we have him for a reason. We have him as a leader for a reason, for his experience. So even though we talk it out, the final decision still comes from the leader, yeah.
Right. Mountaineers must be a very, very exclusive club. I'm sure they are. Have you led any teams so far?
I wouldn't say I've led teams, but we have gone on trekking expeditions which I've organized, and I've got the whole thing set up. So the Kilimanjaro trip, and we have done a base camp, Everest base camp trip, and about 6 of my friends came along. Yeah.
Now, you've obviously been seeing, because you are Indian, you might live in Singapore, but the interest in mountaineering here in India, do you see that on the rise, or do you just see that there's not enough interest that people have in it?
I definitely see it on the rise. I mean, if you look in the last couple of years, last year we had the youngest girl go up, and this year we had the youngest guy. Yeah. And in fact, I met also, there was another girl who was trying to attempt to be the youngest girl, who was about 16 years old, attempting this year. So the interest is there, and as more and more records and more people are known, the interest will develop. And especially Mount Everest is so close to us. We should have many people go up and break records. But you see, the interest is mainly there in the north side with more hills and trekking experiences there. It's not there so much in the south.
Right.
So it'll be great if that develops.
And I suppose also as more and more of the media, focuses on people like yourself and expeditions and mountaineering, I dare say it will, it will increase.
Yep.
And all the very best to you.
Thank
and
you
we
very
hope you'll get back after your next climb
and
talk with us again. Well, that's all we have time for here on Reconnect. Remember, NDTV Hindu, this is your channel. We'd love you to keep watching us.